AI systems are different. They learn, they evolve, they behave probabilistically. Testing them requires a new level of expertise. The ISTQB Certified Tester. AI testing certification focuses exclusively on validating AI-based systems, from data quality and model behavior to bias, robustness, and lifecycle risks. Structured around the machine learning lifecycle, CTAI equips professionals to assess trust, reliability, and safety in AI solutions. As AI adoption accelerates, quality assurance must evolve with it. For those ready to test beyond traditional software, AI testing begins here. Discover the ISTQB CTAI certification.
Morning, good afternoon, good evening to our audience from all around the world. Thank you for joining us in this interesting session, yet another one, which will be dedicated to ISTQB certification. With me, I have an interesting panel of experts from ISTQB who will be sharing their insight about ISTQB certification, different certifications in this session. So I'll leave each and everyone with the introduction. So we'll start with Claudia to introduce yourself to our audience.
Yes, thank you, Loveless. My pleasure to be here. My name is Claudia Dusser-Sieger, and I'm the current president of ISTQB. I am in software quality assurance software testing for more than 25 years, heavily involved in developing different syllabi, and I'm here in my role as the product owner for the Certified Tester AI testing syllabus. And I'll hand over to Isabel.
Thank you so much, Claudia. My name is Isabel Wicheneza. I'm a Rwandan. I based in Rwanda. I'm proudly a member of Rwanda Software Testing Qualification Board and serve the board as a vice president and also testing advisory board. I'm a tester by practitioner for 8 years now. I'm happy to serve the community and looking forward how to grow the community together. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Isabel. We'll continue with Olivier.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Olivier Deneau. I'm the current vice president of the ISTQB, and I'm in this very particular session, I'm proudly representing the Testing with Gen AI syllabus.
Perfect. Thank you, Olivier. And Nishan.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nishan Portean, and I'm a consultant in software quality assurance. And in this panel discussion, I'm as the product owner of the new syllabi finance testing.
Thank you. Thank you, Nishan. So I didn't lie when I say we have a panel of experts, so many years of experience from each and everyone. Definitely will have a very productive discussion with respect to the different ISTQB certification. Well, to our audience, I'll remind you that you can ask question. You can just type in your question on the comment on the chat that is available from different platforms that you are following us from LinkedIn, Facebook, and so on. So all these questions will then reach to our panel of experts, and then we'll take the questions at the end of the session. So, Claudia, enlighten us of what's new, what's going on inside ISTQB. It seems to be a black box to our audience. So enlighten us.
I hope not. I hope not. What's new? We just had our General Assembly about a month ago, and we released a number of new products, or syllabi to be precise. So now we're having the new version, the version 2 of the Certified Tester AI testing. We also released a minor version of the testing with generative AI, and we have an update of the Agile Tester. So Agile Tester 2.0 is one of the good products now. In addition, we have released 2 products which are completely new. One of them is the finance tester, represented here by Nishan, and the second one is a syllabus on quality in DevOps, which I think is also of interest to a large community. So these are the brand new syllabi, but of course we have more.
We have more, definitely. we have a portfolio. We have an updated portfolio now on ISTQB.org. That portfolio consists of 28 certifications. So the portfolio is growing. Maybe we need some guidance actually to walk through our audience through this portfolio, starting from the foundation level. Maybe Olivier would give us an insight on how to really interpret this portfolio.
Okay, so the portfolio has been completely re-engineered. It used to be, a stack of boxes, and people didn't find their way out and what to do first, what to do next, and how to advance my career with this a whole bunch of certification from the ISTQB. So we re-engineered this kind of donut model, actually, where the center and the starting point of your journey in testing and quality in general is starting with foundation, actually. So foundation is really the core. This is the first step that you need to get. And there in foundation, you get the necessary vocabulary, you get the main practices, the good practices, the best practices, whatever. And, well, you really get, that's all in a name, the foundation. And then you have the possibility to go into the direction. One is the art of software testing. So you want to grow as a tester and get more expertise as a tester. And then the natural pathway or the royal pathway is through advanced and expert levels, actually. But there are much more than this. There's much more than this in our work. So you have all the testing specialist modules that are there to drive you and help you when you're working in a particular domain or with a certain technology or a certain type of or approach of testing. And these are the ones that are there on top of that, you have some possibilities as well to address other kind of topics that are not 100% related to testing, but are close to quality, actually. These are the add-on certification and the alliances, something like requirements engineering or business analysis or, practical tester, and also some supporting skills, because a tester is also somebody who need to have, some kind of soft skills, a negotiation power, communication skills, and so on and so forth. And basically, to help you still find your way out in the whole journey, we created some typical personas that you can click upon. And then you have some sort of recommendation from the ISTQB on what you should take as a certification if you recognize yourself or if you want to advance your career with such persona or such profile. So here, I think you selected Liam, that is a tester. And what is a tester according to ISTQB? Well, first, this is foundation. Today, because of the AI, and we'll talk to that later, AI testing is definitely something that would be recommended, but also automation engineering if you're more on the techie side at the advanced level, and a little twist of requirements engineering or practice, and some supporting skills. So that's more or less how you would figure out how to advance with ISTQB. Of course, this is only recommendation. This is not a given or kind of absolute law that you need to follow, but it gives you a hint on how you can advance your career with us.
Great. All right. So we build a career path through the portfolio by navigating through the different certifications that we have. The idea, I guess, is not to have all the certifications within ISTQB. Yes, Olivier, you were saying?
No, I was just saying, no, this is not, well, there are some people who are real certification collectors and they want to get each and every one certification, which is fine. And I truly respect these people because they invest a lot of time in our knowledge and in our, syllabi and portfolio. But this is definitely not the original plan. And of course, if you are that sort of certification collector, well, all respect, kudos to you. But if you just want to advance your career as, let's say, average, test professional, then you have to select your pathway, actually.
Yeah, let me just jump in. I think the main part is that we all share a common language. So the foundation, the basic understanding of what the terminology, the words really mean, as well as a general understanding of the process, the test levels, and the method. That's the part that all of us share. And then it really depends on where you want to go, what the requirements in your job are, what the product looks like, if you have to go into AI or security or wherever.
Okay, that's clear. That makes sense why foundation is still the prerequisite for all the certification, because that's the base on how we talk to each other, to to the testers, to the team, and so on. Right. So that's the foundation. And how about the core, Isabel? What can you tell us about the core? You're already certified about quite some certification you hold from ISTQB on the core advance. What would be your take on it?
Yes, thank you so much. The core, it's been 8 years that I've taken this core certificate, and now even the new syllabus 4.0, it's still even much of the knowledge since I learned it, so I can still read it. So as the name says, it's a core foundation certification. It has been the cornerstone of all what we have been doing in testing industry up to now, and it keeps enriching. So it helps all testers around the globe to speak the same language. If I speak to, however, expert, junior, advanced level, we understand what you mean and we speak the same jargons. So with this new syllabus 4.0, it's even enhancing and bringing much knowledge on the marketplace that people have been questioning around, agile methodology within all these frameworks and software development life cycles. So you can get all these answers from the core foundation and still relevant. So it's one of the best core foundation certification to have, even though you want to go on the level, advanced specialists and so forth, still the core, it's your backbone to do this.
Definitely.
So yeah, I would say it's a must have. Yes. If you want to become a practitioner, already a tester practitioner, it's a must have.
Perfect. Right. That clarifies quite a lot of things. Now in the core we have added agile tester. Previously it was a specialist one. Now it is in the core advanced. So Nishan, one of the questions that we get quite often from the audience is, how do I know which certification I need to go through? How would you select one?
Well, that's a good one, because it always depends in what domain you're moving and your skills are required. So the foundation is key because you want to start with the basic language. The advanced level is if you want to make sure that you understand the techniques that you want to use on a daily basis. But then, depending on the domain that you're working on, there are some specific things that you need to know based on the domains. That's why it's important to know if you are, for example, working in a company where the company is developing AI systems, you need to know, how can I act as a tester to test those applications? Because there are some specific nuance that you need to sense and know to make sure that the quality is also good there. What about mobile testing? If your company is testing mobile devices, then you need to know what are the specific things that you need to keep an eye on if you're testing the mobile devices. The same also with finance testing. If you're working in an insurance company, then there are some special things, some standards, some regulatories that you need to follow so that you are fine and your company doesn't get any fines depending on some quality issues that you have. So it always depends, what do I need to make sure that I can cover the skills that I have for my daily business.
Yeah, agreed. But one thing that we can't avoid in any conversation now is AI. That came through with your conversation as well. There is two new certification, but there is one which is already having a minor update, and the other one with a 2.0 version now. So it's evolving quite quick, and we have the product owners for the products over here in the panel. So why not? Let's talk about the AI. Let's talk about the CTAI first. So the CTAI is
we're also the older syllabus, right? We have the right of way.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, the CTAI syllabus, which just came out in version 2.0, was actually developed in the first version already in 2021, or released already in 2021. So that was way before ChatGPT and all the generative AI. And back then, AI was already a hype topic. So the intention with that syllabus, and it's a specialist syllabus, was to give the tester an introduction into AI, because if you go back 6-7 years, AI was not that, the AI knowledge was not that much spread around. So it's an introduction to AI. And then we are looking at mostly at the machine learning workflow. We're looking at neural networks, and then we look at how you can really test at the different levels, starting with the quality assurance of the data that is used for the training, going through a model testing, all the way to an end-to-end testing. That was 2021. Now, with the advent of Gen AI and with the syllabus especially on it, we kind of slimlined the AI testing syllabus and took all the part where you use AI to support the test process out. And we're now focusing more on the workflow. There's still a short introduction to AI, but then we're looking at the quality characteristics for AI-based system, the non-determinism. We're looking at specific characteristics like a bias, or we're also talking about hallucination. So we're going into that direction, but then we're really looking how you could test such systems. So we're discussing different test levels. We're discussing different test techniques, some old and some new ones like metamorphic testing. And then we go through the 3 additional test levels that we define and go through the techniques there. So from my point of view, it is a step forward. We're following the technology in the new version. We're also talking about generative AI, about large language models. We're talking a little bit about red teaming. So it is following the development of the technology. It has been 5 years since the initial version of the product. So this is the 5-year review cycle that we're actually looking for. But let me hand over to Olivier, who will talk about Gen AI. There, the 5 years are not possible.
No, that's not indeed. We needed to update already the first version that is about 1 year old. The big difference between the 2 syllabi is that they address some complementary population, and you can take both, of course. But if I compare this to a car, if you want to understand what the mechanics is all about, what is in the engine and so on and so forth, this is definitely CTAI. You understand what AI is all about, how to test the stuff, how to dismantle the whole shebang and get your AI tested properly. Gen AI or testing with Gen AI actually is a different kind of approach. That's the approach of using AI in order to help you with your testing tasks. And then the content is addressing totally different topics. We spend less time in describing what is AI per se and the different types of AI that we can have. And we are focusing mainly on prompt engineering, agentic AI in the new update, and how to use basically and how to tame AI in order to help us with our testing tasks, daily testing tasks. So that's more prompting techniques. That's more about how to do structured prompts and these kind of things. So totally complementary, totally different kind of approaches and target market, if I can speak in these terms. And 2 very good syllabi basically. I must say.
Yeah, it's like the 2 sides of a coin, testing of AI and testing with AI.
With AI, exactly, Claudia. Yeah.
So then the natural question would be, should a tester take both sides of the coin?
Well, when you're given a choice, take both. Be my guest.
So let me refactor the question. For whom is Gen AI more suitable, and for whom is CT AI more valuable?
I would say Gen AI more for testers who want to use AI in their daily task, and I would see that more for people starting with AI, not less technical maybe, and less focusing on business and on daily testing tasks. I would see more the CTAI fitting for people who are more willing to understand what's behind the scene and testing the AI products, the one who are developing AI-based products. Am I right, Claudia? Are we?
Yeah. I think this is exactly the distinction. If you have a product that has an AI component, you need to test that, and then you would need the CTAI, because there you're learning about testing this component. If you have a product that doesn't have any AI component, but you want to make your testing faster, more efficient, then you can use AI, and that is where testing with generative AI will help you. Yep. So it really depends what your product is that you need to test, whether you need one or both. And of course, you can always take both if you want to get a general understanding how you would approach it. But if you have a system that doesn't contain any AI per se, I think the AI testing syllabus would be definitely the second one. But to improve my speed, to improve my efficiency, I would always go for the Gen AI.
And these products and the whole portfolio is made in a way that the amount of overlapping content is very, very minimal. So basically speaking, if you take both, it's not redundant, or is barely redundant, like it's barely redundant with the foundation level. So these syllabi are calling each other and referring each other, but basically speaking, it's not duplicate work.
Yes.
Maybe one thing that you need also to know is Gen AI is not only focused on those large language models that can be accessed on cloud. Those are also embedded LLMs that are embedded in your testing tools. So if you're using a test automation tool that has an LLM included, the Gen AI would definitely help you, because then you will be able to use those AI systems that are embedded better for your testing.
Yeah, I think the beauty of the Gen AI syllabus is that it explains how the LLMs are working in general, but it also points at the risks, at the security risks, for example. It points at the fact that it might be biased, the system. It points at the fact that LLMs typically have hallucinations. So you not only learn about prompt engineering techniques and what an LLM is in general, but you also learn about the risky parts, also sustainability, energy consumption, regulatory affairs coming from Europe, the EU AI Act. So there are also these sides that will be addressed in the Gen AI syllabus, or not will be, but are addressed in the Gen AI.
Yeah, they are, for sure.
Yeah, very interesting for African market, mainly Rwanda, moving super fast, championing this AI hub, then having already some testers, with the CT Gen AI or CT AI, it's an advantage also, the cornerstone for the government to push forward, this plan. So ethical, questioning the ethic, testing the ethic, regulation and compliance, all the testers, then we have a stake on our plates.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Right. Well, Isabel, you already answered the question I was going to ask. So, what's the take on the African market or this certification? But apart from the AI part, which other certification you see on a rise on the African market, which is in great demand over there? Because Africa is progressing quite fast on those topics in software testing, especially.
Yeah, definitely. The first one is the core, because we are still having the less ratio of practitioners. So the core is still mandatory, is still needed, but also on the advanced level, the agile testing advanced one. With AI now, it's also something that's coming up and very actually needed and asked when it comes to governments and institutions that's drafting these regulations. So they need to first have the pool of people who can test it and assure the quality and ethic of this before they even enforce some regulations on the population. So but in terms of business, but also test management, test manager is a certificate that's it's booming, and then people, if you have been testing for quite some time, 3 to 4 years, you need to leverage and then becoming a manager. So test manager is also one of the most occurring software testing certificates, I would say.
Well, from the German market, I would also say that test automation engineering, because almost all of the projects really do test automation. So that is even tool independent. That's still a big topic. You need to automate. In the agile world, in the DevOps world, even with MLOps, you need to automate almost everything. So that is also, for us at least, it's a very important syllabus.
Right. So it's
but also performance when it comes to sustainability and robustness of systems. the performance testing certificates and the IT security certificates. This is some of the things that it's also, growing on the continent, I would say. Yeah.
It's interesting to see the difference between the different communities around the world, the different value of certification that ISTQB has on different grounds.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Nishan, how about you? What you can see in your market as of now? What's growing in your market?
Well, one thing that I think my market is waiting for is the finance testing syllabi, because in Switzerland, money is everything. So this syllabi is definitely one that will hit the market very strong, because a lot of banks and a lot of testers in insurance, in the finance industry, are waiting for this kind of training to understand what is actually the key of testing in the financial domain. The other one, I agree, test automation, very important, because yes, you do still manual testing, but with the whole speed that is going also on AI, automation is key. So automation and AI is something that is a big hype in the Swiss market as well.
So are we saying that manual testing will phase out eventually from the industry?
Not really, no. I would not say that it will fade out, because that's the initial testing phase. You need to always test first manually to make sure that it's working as expected. But then, do you need to retest it again manually, or can you give it to an automation engineer to automate it, because you need to re-evaluate, re-verify that the functionalities are still given in the regression set?
Yeah. And I think we will always have system testing when you're talking not only software, but the software hardware system. You will always have system testing where you require a person to actually do it, where you can't yet do it with a robot or just with an automated test script. So I think it will be there. It will still be there.
Yes.
Also,
so
for automation, you cannot just automate the system that's not stable. So you gotta first assure manually it's stable, and then it's not enough to actually support the automation. Otherwise, you would be always doing the updates of the automation. Then it's effortless and cost money.
And the other challenge is as well the usability that a lot of people forget, and the accessibility. Because accessibility, you can test sort of automated, but the usability is still human related.
Yeah,
correct.
So to summarize it, I would then term it as long as the software that we are creating are being used by human, we'll need human in the loop in the process of making the software, right?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
So let me take this question in another direction. Let's say I'm a manual tester. Which certification would you recommend as a panel of expert for me to build my career on?
Foundation, of course, right?
Gen AI.
And I guess, Nishan, you will be shouting finance
test analyst. I believe it's test analyst, I think, if you're a manual tester already.
Yes.
And then which one are you recommended? I would say test analyst, be it technical, if you have the technical, focus, or test analyst as a whole. It gives you the idea of which techniques to use and why, which is efficient. And then you thoroughly go all those scenarios and you create the test case that really respond to the purpose. Then the fewer test cases you write based on the right choice of techniques, based on the right choice of analysis you've done, the better efficiency of the product in the end for the execution. So as a manual, I will definitely recommend analysts in depth.
Yeah, if you want to stay manual, if you want to evolve.
Yeah, because that's what he said. He said a manual tester.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what about evolution? So Claudia, what about the evolution? If I want to evolve now.
Well,
maybe that.
if you are a manual tester and you want to move away into the test automation area, I think it's the test automation engineer, because there you learn the basics on how to do test automation engineering, to do the test automation. And that would, for me, would be the next logical step. And I think if you understand what test automation is all about, then of course you can go to Gen AI and see how Gen AI can support you writing the scripts. But I think you need to understand the basic concepts first. I'm a strong believer to understand what you're doing and not just applying tools. But really
mainly when it comes to automation, you'll be.
We're living with full of technicians here. I would go for test manager, guys, or test management. It's called today, yeah, and just how about leading the team or the product, and then these kind of things. That's another pathway, of course.
But do you need a test manager if you're going on agile ways?
Oh, yeah, test manager can help as well in the agile world. I can tell. Of course, the role will change a little bit. There will be more coaching. There will be more soft skills involved and so on and so forth than it used to be, or put in a different way than it used to be. But, well, they are not that yet.
I think the wording is going to change a bit, but you still need to plan the stuff, even if you're doing it differently. You still need to look if everything worked out the way you had planned it to. You still need to do the reporting in one way or the other. So, yeah, despite the fact that it might not be called test manager anymore, but perhaps test coach or test counsel or test lead or whatsoever. Pick your flavor of names that you want.
Call me Nespresso machine, but let me do my job.
Right. Okay. All right. So we see that the portfolio is quite coherent with what you're saying. So we have the core advanced on the top, which is still very much relevant to the market, and the specialists where we have the AI settling some part of the test specialist segment of the portfolio, and quite a spread of certification from which you can build, let's say like a Lego, you build your career based on what industry you are in, on which type of team, whether you are working in agile, not. So different certification for different personas, different specialists as well in the industry. Okay, so let me see if we have some questions from our audience so that we can as well interact with their questions. Okay, so the first one is flowing in. Do I need to be advanced level certified before going for the specialist module? Interesting one. So, great. Who would like to take this one?
I'll take it. If I would say you're a certification collector, then yes. But if you are not a certification collector and you want to get the most out of those certifications, then think of which path you want to take. If the specialization helps you on a daily basis, you can go directly from the foundation level to the specialist level. So the advanced level is not a prerequisite to be a specialist. You can go either way. The only prerequisite is that you have the foundation level.
Okay. All right. Beautifully
I hope
answered.
that answers.
All right. Another question then from the audience. Should I be doing the Gen AI training before attempting the exam? All right, Olivier, this one is naturally for you.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Well, it all depends, actually, and not only for Gen AI, for each and every syllabus of the ISTQB, you're not forced to take a training before. That is the whole scheme has been built that way. So the one of the answer is no. Now, of course, if you don't take the training, well, you miss all the fun, because the Gen AI training has been made in such a way that this is very practical. About 50% of the syllabus is made on exercises and practical stuff, which are not examinable, but you're missing them if you're not taking the training, or you do it on your own. But then it depends if you are good enough up front and so on and so forth. So the answer is no, you're not forced to, but I would highly recommend to take a training, and that's the answer, the moderate answer I would give.
All right. Just a reminder to our audience as well that we have the syllabus, we have sample papers, we have answers to the question in the sample papers all on our website, and it is available to everyone for free. So the website that you'll need to visit is ISTQB.org, and then select the certification that you would like to consider or to self-study and go through it. If ever you need as well certain support in terms of training and so on, there is a section on ISTQB website where you can search for accredited training providers, and then you get in touch with them. Perfect.
So
Thank you for this elaboration. Please go to ISTQB.org.
Not anything else like net or com or whatever. We are ISTQB.org only.
Yes, that's very important. The domain name is .org. The domain extension is .org. Right. Thank you, Olivier. Thank you for answering this question. We'll take another one. Are we planning to have more AI-related certifications from ISTQB? So we already have 2. I'll let you, Claudia, answer this one.
Well, there's a little bit a yes and a big no. No, we're not planning to have any additional AI certifications, but we're definitely planning to have updates of the current ones, especially from the Gen AI. The technology is evolving so fast with MCP now, with the AI agents now, with orchestration now, that we really need to update our syllabi regularly. And that's what we're doing. Olivier was already mentioning it. The first version was released last year in July. So now we have the next minor version, the 1.1, already out. So it's less than a year, and we're already planning to work on the next version. So yes, there will be updates of the existing AI-related certifications, but right now we're not planning to have something like a syllabus on AI agents or agentic systems. So that's not the plan right now, but we are working on the topic.
Understood. Thank you, Claudia. All right, another question. What is the experience level needed to jump from one level to another? Okay, you were talking about that, Isabel. I'll let you elaborate on this question.
Yes, I was scratching my head because it speaks to me. So I'll answer based on experience, but also recommendation or suggestions. So anyway, there is an information on ISTQB.org about this. It's a recommendation, I mean, literally, at least 3 years of experience before you jump on the next level. And this is not mandatory, but recommended. The reason why is we believe within those 3 years, you've grasped enough information and you've gotten some time to practice. And then like this, you know the pathways, which one you want to follow next, and why, and which domain, which industry. That's why. Otherwise, you'll be a certification collector, as Nishan mentioned, which is not beneficial at all. If you are building a career, you want to become a specialist or become an expert, take some time, read, and then practice. From there only you can know the pathways you go to. I go technical, I go process, I go engineer, I go cybersecurity. However, if you cannot get information about this, look for mentors. People have been doing it in the industry. Read information about your local member boards, wherever you belong, and then do some research. But personal level, I would recommend to take some time to really understand, get hands-on experience, and then choose the next pathways. Thank you.
Perfect. Beautifully answered as well. So
this is to use on a professional level. Sorry, Avlesh, for interrupting, but just to make things clear, there's nothing wrong in taking all the certification if you wish, and having this kind of diversity to feed your, your experience. But basically, and I'm totally with Isabel on that one. If you want to really use the certification and it's, full year, I would say, then you need to let time to time and learn and digest all the knowledge and practice all the knowledge that is there. But of course, you can enrich your experience if you are already experienced enough with other certification that are just there to give you a hint about other kind of topics, just as a compliment.
Thank you.
Sure. So you build your career bits and pieces. It's not something that you get certified on everything and then you're an expert already. You need to absorb the knowledge that is there, practice, and then prepare yourself for the next move, for the next level in our portfolio. So your career progression works with the career progression on our portfolio, ISTQB. That's a beautiful synchrony between the two. Well, thank you, Isabel. Thank you for answering that, and thank you for the clarification and the enlightenment as well, Liti. We'll take a last question from the audience. An interesting. What is the relation between ISTQB and ISO? Well, I'll let our president answer this one.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to take that one, especially since I'm the president of ISTQB, but I'm also working at ISO. So ISTQB is about certification of people. So this is what we're looking for. We have a qualification profile where we say you need to know testing techniques, but we're also looking at defect management. We're also looking at configuration management. We're also looking a little bit at psychology of testing. So this is geared towards the people, the testers, and it's also geared to give them a certificate. Now, if you look at ISO, and let's take just the testing standard as an example, 29119 is a collection of knowledge. You can use it, but it's not there for personal certification, and it's just geared at testing. So there won't be any talk about psychology of conveying bad messages to the developers. There won't be any information on version management. So it's a different scope, and both of them actually go beautifully together, because I think one of the strengths of ISTQB was to not reinvent the wheel from the very beginning. If you look at the very first version of the foundation level, we have been referring to IEEE standards. We did look at 829, which is the standard on test documentation. We looked at 1028, which is the standard on software reviews. So from the beginning, we appreciated and acknowledged that there is knowledge out there, and we just pulled the information together. So for me, ISO and ISTQB are buddies in arms. We both go together and just look at different aspects on the same topic. So we're not enemies, definitely not. It really works out beautifully. I do know that sometimes we don't agree on the details, and sometimes we don't agree on the terminology in some parts, but in general, we are supporting each other very strongly.
And I think this relationship is what makes ISTQB unique as well. That's why ISTQB is the global standard when it comes to software testing. Not every organization can claim that.
Yeah, and we do have an official liaison to the ISO standard, to the working group that is dealing with software standing, with the software testing standard. So we have a hook into the ISO standardization world. So I think it's very good. I think it's very good.
Yes, indeed. Good. I think we answered all the questions. Just for our audience, just a reminder to in addition to what Claudia said in the last sentence, is that we are the global standard in terms of software testing. Just a reminder that ISTQB actually spans over more than 135 countries already right now in the world, right? It's more than 135 countries that ISTQB is able to unite under one roof and talk about software testing and define the global standard. That's a huge achievement for ISTQB, and it's something that really empowers us to be really the global standard in software testing. It's not just a claim; we do it. We walk the talk. Let's say. All right. So, thank you a lot to our panelists of experts. I think the discussion was very much balanced. We had our fair share of questions. We have our fair share of discussion as well. And thank you to our audience for tuning in and being part of this segment of the ISTQB stream. Please stay with us. There will be other interesting talk that will be coming forward. And again, a small limelight on Nishan. There will be also a dedicated session for finance testing. So
and AI testing.
And AI testing. Okay. And Isabel, are you representing any product?
No, the community. Of course, the community, we are ready to grab.
Very much welcome, Isabel.
Yes, we are ready to that.
So, a last request to our audience, please follow us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, visit our webpage, istqb.org, and remember, we also have a new channel now on TikTok. If you are a TikTok fan, you can also add us on TikTok and stay updated with our updates. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for staying with us. And thank you to our panelists. we'll see each other in a different stream then for each talk. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Have a
very
great
much.
you.
Bye.
Cheers.
See you.
AI systems are different. They learn, they evolve, they behave probabilistically. Testing them requires a new level of expertise. The ISTQB Certified Tester. AI testing certification focuses exclusively on validating AI-based systems, from data quality and model behavior to bias, robustness, and lifecycle risks. Structured around the machine learning lifecycle, CTAI equips professionals to assess trust, reliability, and safety in AI solutions. As AI adoption accelerates, quality assurance must evolve with it. For those ready to test beyond traditional software, AI testing begins here. Discover the ISTQB CTAI certification.